So guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to be discussing the World Tour Finals, which will be taking place in Glasgow on the 18th of October. So we're just about 3 or 4 days out now, so let's get right into it. So starting with the 14 athletes competing there, we have Tom Stoltman, Luke Richardson, Mateusz Kieliszkowski, Maxime Boudreau, Andrew Flynn, Gav Bilton, Evans Nana, Tim Buck, Andre Foytu, James Jeffers, Oleg Pilipiak, Ryan Bennett, and Callum Crozier. Now there's one more athlete as well who's just doing the log by itself, which is Jack Osborne. So that's a max log press. So they're essentially going for the British record. So to go through the 5 different events, the 5 events that we have the max log press to start off, followed by a load and push. So it's going to be like basically a big wheelbarrow that they throw like different implements into. I believe there's sandbags, possibly anvils that they're going to be thrown into it, and then they have to go back something like a 15 or 20 meter course, and fastest time wins then. Then after that, we have a duck walk into an anchor drag. Not 100% sure of the weight of the duck walk. I think the anchor drag is close to 300 kilos, in around that. So it is going to be fairly heavy, it is going to be tough, but I think the bigger athletes are definitely going to shine on this. Then into the wrecking ball hold, and that one is where, if you watch any Giants live comps, you would see it every now and again. It's where they basically stand up on a very high platform and they lift like this handle, and it's basically just connected to like these chains. They stand up with it and they hold it as long as they can. A lot of people say it's not actually so much a test of grip as it is just overall just mental fortitude, I suppose. Reason being is because you can kind of let the handles rest into your legs a bit, and it's more so like your glutes, hamstrings, quads, lower back that take the brunt of it. So just literally who is willing to push themselves to the limits on that one. So that'll be a very interesting one to see. And the last event we have is the Atlas Stones. It's the heavier set, going up to 200 kilos. So be very interesting to see who does well there. So I'm going to go through event by event who I think is going to do really well. I've actually brought it to a top 5 on each event, which, look, there's going to be a bit of wiggle room either way, but this is currently what I think is probably the most likely thing to happen. So max log press, I think Andre Foytu is going to take the win there. Reason being is because he's literally done a 220 on a metal log in training. So like he definitely has the strength to just dominate in that event. Tom Stoltman, I have him in second. I know he's done a 210 kilo log in comp before. I expect him to be around that mark again in this competition. I think he does better on the wooden logs anyway than the metal logs, kind of similar to myself, like, you know. But then we have Luke Richardson. I know he should be in around the 200 kilo mark. I think 200 kilos he should get, if not a little bit more. After that then, it's a bit tight. I know Gav Bilton is capable of doing a 190 kilo log. So I have him down in 5th, and I have Mateusz in 4th, because I think he'll be somewhere between that 190 and 200 mark. Not 100% sure of the jumps yet. I know there'll be a 190 kilo jump and there will be a 200, but I don't know is there anything in between that. But then moving on to event 2, we have the load and push. So like the thing with the big wheelbarrow and all that, like one thing that will suit Tom here is the fact that being tall will make this a bit easier, particularly the loading part. So when they're actually throwing it into the big skip, he won't have to extend as much to get the stuff in. So that will suit him. That being said, I don't actually think he's the favourite for this event. I think Luke Richardson could win this event. He's really fast, his loading is really good. As long as he keeps one piece, he should be fine here. I think this would be a very good event for him. Mateusz as well is just a demon on these types of events, so I think he'll do really well as well. I see Luke making less mistakes than Tom, and Mateusz making less mistakes than Tom here as well. And Mateusz is just so fast in these types of events. So I've gone Luke, Mateusz, Tom for top 3 in that. Then I've thrown in Maxime Boudreau as well. He's very good at loading, and like the fact that they're doing the wheelbarrow carry as well. Farmer's walk style events as well, suit him down to the ground. So I think he'll be right up there as well. And I've thrown in Evans Nana as well because I know he's quite fast. He has the strength that he's going to be able to push that wheelbarrow pretty fast. And he's going to be pretty good at the loading part too. So I think he's going to do some serious damage in that event. Now, the duck walk into the anchor drag. I am looking personally at the likes of Matej to take the win on this one. They had a similar event before to this. I don't know, was it in Europe's? It was earlier this year or late last year, where Matej won that event where they had the anchor drag. Now, that being said, I don't think Tom was in that comp. I think that was Europe's strongest man. But Matej took the win on that. He's very good at things like anchor drag and stuff like that. Duck walk, I'm not too sure. I can't see him performing badly, so I think he's going to take the win on that one. Tom, because he's so tall, should do really well at the anchor drag. He would have a massive advantage in terms of his build. And then I'm going to say Luke Richardson after that, because I just think he's going to be on fire this whole competition. After that, in terms of tall, heavy guys, you'd be looking at the likes of Gav Bilton. The anchor drag should not be a problem for him. Duck walk, I'm not so sure. I haven't seen him do it much, so I can't really say. I can't see him being rapid on that, but I think he will make up for it on the anchor drag. So I picture him coming around fourth. And then just due to the speed aspect, I think Evans Nana should be pretty good at this as well. And he's one of those guys that he will just, like, he's got that work ethic. So he'll fly through something like this. You know, especially when the legs start burning on the anchor drag and stuff, I think he'll push harder than a few of the rest of the guys. Then onto our wrecking ball hold. Now, this particular event, to me, is a pivotal point in the competition for Tom Stoltman. Reason being is because, similar to myself, unfortunately, Tom Stoltman is not a big fan of the old grip hold type events. Now, this isn't grip as such. Again, it's more just general mental fortitude. How long can you hold on until your legs just fall? Until you just collapse, essentially. I actually think, because I've heard some good news about this fella, I think Oleg, let's read his second name right, Pilipiak will be, I think he could win this event. I genuinely do. The guys on the Giants Live podcast, like Darren and Terry, were saying he's very like a Novikov 2.0. And Novikov was just, the reason why he won like the wrecking ball hold last year was because he was just mental fortitude wise, like there's no one to stop him. And he says Oleg is very like that as well, just very, very gritty, determined athlete. I'm putting him down to win that personally, even though he's gone up against some of the best of the best. I don't care. I haven't even seen him compete. I've just heard he's really good. And based on what we've heard on athletes, you know, in the past, of fellas that are meant to be pretty good and nobody suspects, such as Rain O'Neill, for example, I'm gonna back him. I'm gonna say I think he can win this event. After that, I have Luke Richardson, very, very gutsy athlete as well. I think he's gonna bring it to the absolute limit here. I think he's very, very determined to win this competition. And then after that, I'm going to say Maxime Boudreau, as grip is one of his strong points, and I think this is something that he pick up big points on. So top three in wrecking ball hold: Oleg, Luke Richardson, Maxime Boudreau. After that, I'm going to say Matej. I think he's going to be pretty good this type of event. Not as good as those guys, but I would have him in the top four. And if Tom Stoltman is, I'm not going to say lucky, because that's not the right term. If Tom Stoltman has been working on his grip and has been working on the overall kind of pain threshold side of things, I think he could be fifth. Then again, if he hasn't, he could be sixth or seventh. I don't see him placing lower than mid-table in this, with this particular lineup, but I think like fourth be astounding for him, but I think fifth, I think is probably roughly where he's going to land in that. Now into the Atlas Stones. Well, fuck me, I wonder who's going to win that one. So Tom Stoltman, strangely enough, I have down as winning that one. I actually have Maxime Boudreau in second, as he is a phenomenal stone lifter, especially these types of weights. I'm going to put Luke Richardson in third. He's pretty damn good at stones. And again, he just has that drive that I don't think he's going to, again, as long as he stays in one piece, I don't think he's going to slow down at any point. Mateus, I'm going to put him fourth. He's good at stones, but he's not like God tier the way he is at nearly every other event bar deadlift. And in fifth, I'm going to throw down Gav Bilton. Now, overall, looking through the lineup of guys here, truth be told, there's a lot of fellas here I found very hard to find some data on. A lot of them are very new names to me. Like, just to go through some of the really new ones, like one fella I haven't even mentioned in this whole lineup is Andrew Flynn, and I would have a bit more knowledge on him. There's an argument for our Andrew Flynn sneaking into the top 5, definitely. Podium, I just don't think with these guys that he'd make podium. He's got some really stiff competition there. Gav Bilton as well as one that performed really good. Maxime as well, actually. He's definitely a shot for top 4 or 5, I'd say. But to go to my overall podium, I am going to put Luke Richardson taking the win this competition, Tom Stoltman in second, and Matej Kieliszkowski in third place. After that, then I'm going to throw Maxime in fourth, and I'm going to put fifth place is wide open. Like I could nearly throw Evans Nana in fifth. Evans Nana, like those loading events, he's right there. Like, oh god, I don't know. Right, fuck it, I'm just going to throw it down. So we're going to say Luke Richardson for the win, Tom Stoltman second, Mateus third, Maxime fourth, and Evans Nana fifth. That is my current prediction. Now, just to go through a few reasons for my podium. A lot of people are going to see this and be like, well, Tom Stoltman has won Worlds 3 times. There's no other person who's won Worlds in this lineup. Why are you putting him in second? The reason I'm putting Luke Richardson over him is because on their podcast recently, the Giants Live podcast, Luke Richardson sounds the most motivated he ever has been in terms of just being prepared for strongman. He also stated the fact that he's had so many injuries at this stage that he no longer fears getting injured, mainly because he's had times where he's been out for ages with injuries and then all of a sudden he has fantastic performances and then gets injured again, and it's kind of, he realizes that him, getting the surgeries again and coming out again, he still comes out in great shape every time somehow. So he's kind of like the guy, you just can't kill him, like, do you know what I mean? He's just, like, he's always going to be there and he's always going to keep pushing. And the fact he's not afraid to injure himself, for him is a good sign. For most people who say that's bad, but for Luke, I think that's a very good thing, because that realistically is the only way he's going to get the best out of himself. Obviously, he's going to be calculated going into certain events, knowing where he can and can't push, but like, when it's time to go and there's potential risk of injury, sometimes you just have to fucking go all out. So I think in terms of just overall drive, Luke is probably one of the most motivated to win this competition. And he's also just like, he's in great shape. Like, his training's been looking really good and he sounds really confident. So plus, again, back to the whole point of why I think he's going to do better than Tom. Wrecking ball holds, I can't see him outside the top 3. I could see Tom placed anywhere from 5th to like 8th in that event. Whereas if you look at Luke, top 3 in log, possibly first on load and push, top 3 in the duck walk, top 3 in wrecking ball hold, and top 3 in, like, he's top 3 in literally every event in terms of my predictions anyway. Then Matej, he's another guy as well. Like, Matej honestly could win this whole competition. The reason I don't see him win the whole competition is because I was listening to Loz recently, Big Loz, on his, I think it was their Strongman Sunday, where he was saying that he doesn't think that, what's his name, Matej is super motivated for this comp. He's more kind of building towards next year, which is fair enough. But if he was motivated, if he was genuinely motivated, I could see him win the whole thing. Like, there's no deadlift in there, so his major weakness is now out of there. Matej is notoriously known for being incredible at everything bar deadlift. Like, if Matej was genuinely motivated, like, he's not going to win max log press. he could, become fourth or whatever. But load and push, if he was motivated, could win. Duck walk, he could win. Wrecking ball hold, if he was arsed, he could win. And Atlas stones, he could be third or fourth, which is very, very good points. That's, again, if he was motivated. I don't think he is, though. And I think Tom coming in reasonably motivated and with slight improvements on the wrecking ball hold, I think he beats Mateus, personally. So that's my reasoning, guys. That's my thinking behind it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Leave a like, share, subscribe, click the bell icon. And yeah, if you all hate me for not thinking that Tom's going to win, you can comment on that as well. But now, that being said, I'm a fucking huge Stoltman fan. Like, I would love for Tom Stoltman to win. But I just don't think with these events, I think the wrecking ball hold is just going to catch him. And I think Luke is going to be too consistent and everything else. But call me a hater or call me whatever you want. Be sure to leave it in the comments below. Don't worry, we'll have a look at him. But yeah, that's my thoughts, guys. So yeah, we have the World Tour Finals happening the 18th. It should be on the Giants Live. What did I call that fucking website again? Oh, Jesus. I'll throw it up in officialstrongman.com, I think. But anyway, it should be live streams on the 18th, so this coming Saturday. So go watch it. We'll see who actually comes out on top. And we will see you guys later.